All right, so I went to a guitar store and they were giving away a free set of strings. They'd string it up for you, but they didn't do a setup on my guitar. The action was super high, the bridge all jacked up, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of walk you through the things that I'm gonna do to fix this guitar. But I'm gonna kind of walk you through some of the things that you would need to fix an Ibanez tremolo to make it play really good. So the first thing, we're gonna need some tools. So I've got the Ibanez manual. So if you guys don't like my specs that I'm doing this at, you can take it up to Ibanez. I kind of think they know what they're doing. Got a little jar for parts. I've got a capo. I've got some various things to block the bridge. I've got some measurement tools, got some screwdrivers. I've got the Ibanez multi-tool here. If you don't have that, you're gonna need some Allen wrenches. Some various guitar picks. I've got a 0.5 millimeter, 0.7, and a 1.0. I got a couple extras over here as well. Yeah, you might need a stack of guitar picks too if you don't have like a block of wood or anything like that. These I use to block the bridge, and I'll show you that here in a moment. So first we're gonna get ready to work on this guitar. We're gonna remove the middle locking nut, the string tree, and the truss rod cover. On the back of the guitar, remove the tremolo cavity cover. All right, so next we're going to adjust our fine tuners. You'll see that we want all of these to start in the middle position. This tuner I have all the way down, tightened all the way down. This one I have all the way up. So to find my middle position, kind of estimate between the two for this one here. Then I'm going to match the level with each of the following tuners. As you can see in this example, we have all the tuners at the same height in the center position. Okay, now I'm going to show you what we're going to try to do to get this bridge to where it needs to be. If you can see here, there's a little line on this bridge across this way. You can see it's kind of in an angle here. It needs to be flush with the body. Okay, so this bridge right now is kind of being pulled up towards the neck. So here I have I've got a block of wood, this is pieces of a toothbrush, and here's a stack of guitar picks taped together. So the stack of guitar picks is probably the one that I'm going to use. You can get pretty close to perfect of what you need for your specific guitar. All right, so on the back of the guitar here, you can see that there's a space right in here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little apparatus that I made with the guitar picks, and you can kind of measure out how deep yours needs to be. But what you want to do is you want to block this bridge. So you're gonna pull up on the tremolo bar, and wedge your little device into here, like so. All right, now that the bridge is blocked off, I'm going to tune the guitar. I want to get some tension on the strings so we can do our next measurements. And now you can see on the other side, I have it blocked off. Now you can see right here, this little indicator. It's flat and level with the body, and the bridge is, seated properly on the guitar. So now that I have the guitar tuned up, we're going to first adjust the string height. And so on the high E string, or your treble side, like if you're looking at the bottom of the guitar here, Ibanez recommends between 1.5 and 1.7 millimeter at the 14th fret. And that distance is from bottom of the string to the top of the fret. And here I have a couple of guitar picks. If you don't have the proper measuring tool, I also have a ruler, right? I kind of think this is pretty easy to do, right? So you get it close enough. I'm going for the 1.5 here. So I'm just gonna slap those picks in there. And I don't know if you can see the camera angle or not, but they're not. The bottom of the string is definitely not touching the picks. So I need to lower that string down just a hair. So to do that, I'm gonna adjust it here at this point of the bridge. Okay, next we're gonna find the string height, adjust the string height for the low E string, and Ibanez recommends between 2.2 millimeter and 2.4 millimeter. So here we're gonna do the guitar pick trick again, because I find that the easiest method. So I'm using a 1.0, a 0.7, and a 0.5 to get me at that 2.2 range, right? So I want it kind of low action. And it looks like we're pretty much good here. Now if I did need to make an adjustment, I'd do that at this post here. However, this guitar is right on the money with this side. Here we have the neck adjustment. This is where we have the infamous truss rod adjustment. Yeah, don't make it harder than what it is. Here we have the capo at the first fret, right? We also have our measuring tool. Okay, if you don't have one of these, you need something that's 0.3 to 0.5 millimeter. The light guitar pick is 0.5 millimeter. You might be able to find a business card that might be slightly thinner than this. Yeah, so the next thing we do is you're gonna hold down where the body meets this fret, all right? Then you're gonna move to the 8th fret and measure the gap between the string and the fret. So here you see you should be able to slide this measuring tool in here and not have any gap. You can see that I have some gap on this. So the truss rod needs to be tightened because I have too much relief in the neck. All right, here we're gonna adjust the truss rod. The first step in this is to loosen your D and your G strings and get them out of the way. You don't want to damage your strings with tension on them trying to adjust your truss rod. It's kind of tedious. You might have to do this a couple of times. You loosen them up. When you do your adjustment, you tighten them back up. You might have to loosen them again to do another adjustment if you didn't get it right. But take your time to do this. Don't mess up your brand new strings. So the concept of the truss rod is just like a screw or a nut, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And so say you have some bow in your neck, like the top of the neck is pulling up too much. It means that you need to tighten the truss rod to make it flat. Now if you're the other way, if you're convex, if you're having a lot of fret buzz, like right in the middle here, you probably need to loosen it, okay? In this instance, I have too much relief in the neck. I have a bow. There's too much of a gap when we measured here. There's not enough gap, I'm gonna loosen it. I had too much gap, so now I need to tighten it. So I'm gonna tighten the truss rod. No, I'm not gonna do it very much. I'm only gonna move this less than a quarter of a turn. Then I'm going to tighten up the strings and I'm going to make my measurement. Okay, now I retuned the entire guitar, right? Because if you adjust the truss rod, you're going to need to retune all of the strings for this next measurement. So I have the capo back on at the first fret. I'm going to hold down the fret where the body meets the guitar, and I'm going to measure it at the 8th fret. Okay, at the 8th fret, take my measuring tool. We're in there. It's not making the string move. I'm going to get it through here. I think it's about just right. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is we need to unblock the bridge. But you know, when we do this, all the strings are gonna go out of tune. So this is where we want to find a balance between the tension between the strings and the springs in the back. So since we've already blocked the bridge off, the bridge is level to where we want it. Our saddles are adjusted, the guitar is in tune. The only thing we have left is removing the block that I have back here. So I'm going to remove this block, and now the guitar is going to be out of tune. Okay. So I don't know if you can see the tuner or not. So you can see that there's not a whole lot of tension on the springs. So now we're going to make an adjustment. I'm going to move the camera. I don't know if you can see that or not, but now I'm going to pluck the G string. That's a B. There's the G string. Now I'm going to tighten the screws back here until my G gets in the range where it needs to be. And here it's going right up. Now all the other strings are pretty close, so I'm going to back it off just a hair. But this is where you want to tune your guitar now, on the back of the guitar. You can see that it's now in tune. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to make sure that there's no fret buzz. Alright, so I hope this video helped. This guitar is set up pretty well. I took it for a test ride here. It plays so much better than it did before. The action feels great. You can see here the bridge is floating and it's level there. We got the fine tuners ready for their action. String height adjustment. The truss rod is adjusted very nicely. We've got everything reassembled. It's just ready to jam. So Thanks for checking out the video. Hopefully this helps you out. If you have any questions, feel free to hit the comments below. Please hit like and subscribe. See you later.